The head of nursing at NHS Fife has told an employment tribunal she cannot recall seeing a risk assessment which led to the suspension of nurse Sandie Peggie. Gillian Malone said she perceived that allegations about Ms Peggie confronting transgender medic Dr Beth Upton were unacceptable. Ms Peggie was suspended after she complained about having to share a changing room with Dr Upton at the Victoria Hospital in Kirkcaldy, Fife. She was placed on special leave and then suspended after Dr Upton made an allegation of bullying and harassment and cited concerns about patient care. Ms Peggie has lodged a claim against NHS Fife Health Board and Dr Upton, citing the Equality Act 2010, including sexual harassment, harassment related to a protected belief, indirect discrimination and victimisation. On Thursday, Ms Malone told the tribunal she perceived a Datex report from January 3, 2024 regarding a conflict on Christmas Eve to be a discriminatory allegation. Ms Malone told the tribunal the decision to suspend Ms Peggie was made following a risk assessment carried out by Esther Davidson, the nurse's line manager. However, when asked if she had seen the risk assessment, she said, "I can't recall." Giving evidence, she said, "When I read context of Datex, I thought the comments were concerning. At this time they were allegations. I did believe there was behaviour in there which could constitute bullying and harassment which were of concern and could require investigation," adding that there were other work-related incidents noted. During cross-examination by Ms Peggie's barrister, Naomi Cunningham, Ms Malone, the most senior staff member to appear at the tribunal, said she agrees there are two biological sexes and that sex is a medically salient fact. She was also asked about an email titled "Formal Complaint" sent by Dr Upton on June 11th. Ms Cunningham then suggested the reason Ms Peggie was suspended was because she had told Dr Upton she wasn't happy about him using the women's changing room. Ms Cunningham highlighted that this email is the first documented trace shown to the tribunal of the document "Formal Complaint", which contains earlier incidents being passed on to anyone from hospital management at all. She went on to ask Ms Malone, "Do you agree that if the tribunal finds that the reason for suspension was about the incident on Christmas Eve and wasn't about the prior allegations relating to patient care, that wasn't sufficient justification for suspension?" Ms Malone said, "The justification for suspension was based on a risk assessment which wasn't undertaken by me." Ms Malone added that Ms Peggie should have raised concerns through her line manager, rather than face-to-face on Christmas Eve. The tribunal continues.